morning, just kind of thinking about the day. I'm going into a spot I haven't been in yet that I have a lot of confidence in. It just kind of like yesterday, I know elk hunting's not that easy. I know it. I mean, I heard 2 bulls yesterday. I walked my ass off in the morning, heard nothing, saw nothing, thought, man. And then by the time, mid-morning and then afternoon rolled around, every elk I heard I could have shot. So it kind of feels like I'm a elk photographer or something, just catch and release elk hunting. And I kind of had the feeling walking out last night, like, hey, you've been gifted 2 opportunities and you gave them back. So how many more of those opportunities do you get? So we'll see, hopefully just one with a big bull. That's the hope. I love September 8th. It's like my 4th day in the woods, I think. So I just like to string it out a little bit, like to have fun. If a big giant bull walks in on the first day, obviously I kill him, but otherwise, I pick through him a little bit and see what there is to see, even though this is just a general tag in Wyoming. But general tag in Wyoming is pretty good. So see you on the mountain.
September 8th dawned warmer than the day before, but still calm and cool by early September standards, and really, that's about the best you can ask for. I was at my predetermined listening location well before any hint of daylight, and shortly after I arrived there, I heard a bull bugle. I cut the distance, still in the dark, and when I got what I thought was in striking distance, I bugled in his face, I raked trees, I did everything I thought possible that would bring that bull closer to me, and still... he wanted nothing to do with it. In between trying to shadow him and stay in contact, I ran into a smaller bull, and I called him into about 12 yards. Due to my ineptitude of not being able to change out GoPro batteries on time, you'll never see it, so you'll just have to take my word for it. I thoroughly enjoyed the interaction with that smaller bull. It's what elk hunting's all about. But during that, I lost contact with what I thought was that bigger bull, and the woods were pretty quiet all around me. I decided I'd switch gears. I had a buddy coming up. His name's Jared Waldine, and he had exactly 1 day to bow hunt. He was going to spend it with me. Found Jared a bull. Looks like a good 5-point. He may crab claw off the back. It's 5th and 6th, but that's a good enough place to start in the morning. See you then. The grill still lives. We got the whole elk tenderloin from last year. Maybe we can screw it up. Hopefully not. The wolves game on. And a good fire. Can it be beat? No, it can't.
Goddamn right. Oh, and zoomed in a little. This is Jared. I told you you'd see him tomorrow. It's tomorrow. We got up at an ungodly hour to try and come find this bull I roosted for him last night. And that hasn't come to fruition. He hasn't bugled at all. I almost said gobbled.
I wish elk would shock bugle.
Yeah. So, we're going to turn our headlamps on in a second and work our way up this mountain, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Nice little grassy meadow.
Yep. Get on top and hopefully play the game. Jared's got my hat on. You can't tell. You can buy one of those at twoutdoorgear.com. I've got Jared's on. If you want one of these, you got to buy a bow from Long Range Archery, and one probably comes with it. So, anyway, hopefully we're over bugling bulls here in a second.
We finally get what we believe is the target bull to answer, but even if it's not the target bull, it's good enough for Jared, and we start that all familiar chase up the mountain.
Aren't telling where he's at. Obviously. You want to try him right here, you want to try it skinny. That way here. Wind's coming either this way or get up there, get a little better close. Okay. Go ahead of me. But if you can, Give us the lowdown.
Well, we blew a couple elk out. Look back where they went. They came over the top and there's one just glowing in the sun. As we're sitting there trying to figure out how the hell to make a move on him. Another one pipes off to the right of us here, so go give him a play.
We went from not knowing what we were going to do to being in a target-rich environment. So we got options to screw up in here.
One bugled on his own, the other one we might have to hunt like a mule deer.
Yep. We'll try 2 tactics. Heard this ball bugle in here. Trying to get to the perfect spot that probably doesn't exist, but further we get up this hill, the more the wind switches, so we're gonna give them a go. On to the next one that we're hopefully gonna sneak up on, or Jared is. If you can though, I'm thinking like 1 lung liver and downhill.
Sure.
Yeah.
Get a good mile at least out of it.
Yeah. Anywhere's better than right here, I think.
Yeah, my leg can go off that cliff.
That's fine too. Well, Jared just left to go on his stalk. I'm kind of up here on an overlook. I didn't want to go with him, screw the whole thing up, so I'm up here overlooking where this bull was at. Just making sure, if he scoots through the bottom or something that I'm able to see him and Jared's not chasing a ghost in there. But we just did a bit of a calling setup on another bull, and we don't think we did any harm. We called to him fairly aggressively, but we just saw piss spots and stuff where him and a cow, at least one cow, rolled over the top of this ridge. So now we've got both bulls in the same basin. But Jared's got his whole stalk mapped out. It feels really good. The wind cover is good, wind noise is good, wind direction's good. Bad part is it is gusty winds, and that usually means swirling winds, so just hard to tell. This bull's tucked himself into a basin a little bit, so just impossible to know what the wind's going to be doing down there. But fingers crossed, we do see an elk scoot out the bottom, but he's bleeding out of the side of him, so that's the hope. Nothing else, I'm going to get a good nap up here on this ridge.
He gone. Hopefully Jared got close. I got to bugle at him though real quick to let him know that party's over. I'm just glad it's Jared for once and not me. I'm usually the only one that puts myself in predicaments such as this, but can't tell. It's quite steep. He'll have a good time. He'll have fun with it, I'm sure.
30 yards.
Did you get that close?
Yeah, he was.
Want to give us a minute to catch your breath?
Much rock to go across. Had to get all the way above him, and coming down there, and wind's fine the whole way. It's just tight.
Thick?
Yeah, a mix of deadfall and a bunch of little shit like that.
Yeah.
And I knew I was close. I could smell him the whole time. And
Wind was coming uphill or across this way?
Up, and if it did, across just a little.
It swirled a couple times up here,
He's
so I was
in there.
crazy.
He's got the whole hillside tortoise shit. Goat trails everywhere. I didn't see him bedded, but here, Chris, I looked down, and when I seen him, he was 30, 35. He ran out there about 5 yards, and a bunch of little pecker trees in the way. And
he didn't know what he saw, because
what gear was he in on the way out?
One.
Because
He came out of the bottom hopping like a mule deer.
Well, when you bugled was at least a minute or two after I jumped him.
Yeah, he wasn't super.
He never smelled.
Came out of the bottom hopping like a mule deer. I think it's so steep. And I'll show you. He got to the other side, and he turned and looked back up the hill. And I was even thinking up here, I'm like, if we were smart, I'd go sit in that
We're not.
escape route.
Yeah.
But I was thinking too, I'm like, well, then the wind would just,
Well,
if the
then
wind was right, it would pull.
And we're down there.
Right.
So now we both
So
down.
that's good. Close. Me and Jared are sitting here being done, and a bull bugled right behind us. We think he heard us cow calling and stuff. My goodness. I mean, he was right here. He still is. Well, we didn't do a very good job of showing it. We kind of had that moment of we're sitting there eating snacks and bull bugled, and we looked at each other, and there was like that half second of, is that a bull? And then you could just hear the whoa. Yeah. And we just threw shit and rolled over and grabbed our bows, and then we circled around him and bugled where he was at and never heard him again. So we kind of had a half hour of just sheer panic, and
Nausea.
now we don't know what to do. Yeah. So we kind of went what we think was too far. I had a gut feeling that the bull smelled us, or, well, maybe not smelled us, but that he was taking his cows and going up over the next ridge. We went over the next ridge and bugled, and still nothing. So I don't know if he smelled us. Don't know if we just passed him or what happened, but
Smells like an elk farm.
yeah. But we're right in the middle of where we want to be today, so I just had to kind of calm down. We backtracked a little bit. We're where we can hear that bull was last. If we don't hear him for a couple hours here midday, then we're going to move a little further to where we kind of plan on evening hunting and glassing around and listening over there. So, but we're not far from anything. We're just right in the middle of it all.
Well, we're far from a lot of things.
Far from smart, far from handsome, yeah. But we're going to snack and try and take a nap. That was what we were going to do a half hour ago, and we got rudely interrupted, so we'll try again. You got anything? I've become a big fan of those peak refuel mills. Talking with Jared about it, they just seem a little more hardier, fill you up a little better, and like that one, and that's got a bunch of food in it, and it only takes 5.3 ounces of water, so it's another seriously huge win up here. When you're up here trying to ration water, me and Jared have been trying to do the math on if we were going to make it or not, and I think we both will, but obviously tonight if we need to, we'll cross the stream. So but just to use barely any water for a full meal is outstanding. Me and Jared have been sitting here. Well, we napped at the other spot for, well, maybe it's napping, more like we laid and readjusted a bunch and cussed a lot. but we haven't heard a bugle. We haven't seen an elk. It's like 3 o'clock, a little after 3 o'clock now, and we're gonna eat our early dinner, be ready to go, and then if nothing's bugled by then, we're gonna try and start our own party. Whether that'll work or not is to be seen, but that's the plan anyway.
You still up in there hiding?
Yeah, I'm guessing if anything, the original in there.
Just how me and Jared figured it'd go. The wind was howling and Jared heard a bugle. I didn't hear it, looked up, saw these elk. We've just seen the bull for just a second. But now he doesn't want to come out and show himself. The grasshoppers sure do though. Nice. Man, I'm such a good video or elk videographer, photographer. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, go eat. I'm not sure about elk killer, but I can video him. How's your feelings?
Like you, I almost said, you know, as soon as we get these cooked up.
Yep. Alright, I know mine's ready. I gotta eat.
Raghorn off to the left.
Oh, perfect. Shoot him instead. That bull had just laid down while we were getting ready. He's now back on his feet. Cows have moved into the timber to the right. Most of them. There's a cow, a calf, and a little raghorn bull, and he's speaking to Jared, so we're gonna get our happy asses over there. Wind swirly.
Not much we can do about it. We're here. We're in the elk mecca. We're only going to be here for one day, so we're going to hope that when we get in there, we get the wind right and it holds. We get lucky. That's it. See you over there.
Bull's right there. Jared's almost right on top of him right now. Come on, wind hold. Uh-oh. Shit, Jared. That's it. Damn it. No, he was like right. He was on the other side of the trees. He was 30 yards. Yeah, I have you and him in this frame. I'm like, and you just, holy Jared, how close are you gonna get?
I couldn't see him. Last I knew, I thought he was like right there.
No, then
That's all.
yeah, I have you both. I'm going, holy.
Trying to make it interesting.
Yeah, you're gonna spear him.
God damn it.
Oh well. There's another one up here, probably. Well, there goes part of the group, we think, but it's all kind of confusing at this point. What do you have to say for yourself?
I'm ashamed. I've been saying that rain clouds have been following me around since I moved from Oregon. Right now it's just a figurative rain cloud.
Yeah. No, that happens to everybody. Multiple times a year.
Well, don't kill me for this next part. As with, what so often happens with this stuff, I'm very motivated to film it, but you have an encounter like that, and I'll just speak for myself. I was kind of checked out at that point. When Jared said, well, there was that other raghorn, maybe we should try him real quick. And I just thought, yeah, right. The whole herd just blew up and ran in all separate directions, but we'll give it a shot. And I did a couple calling sequences, and well, this is what happened next.
I didn't video any of that at all, as usual. Got up here and Jared said he had spotted a raghorn away from that big bull and was willing to shoot a raghorn, and if we could figure out where he was at while we got up here, and I threw out some cow sounds. God, I didn't call for... Yeah, I did second sequence. Anyway, he came in, I guess, running. Yeah. Running in. The old galloping. And Jared drew back in a hurry and misjudged the yardage and missed him. And then he whirled, and I kind of got my wits about me and cow called again, and I guess he was coming back in. Or just stopped.
He ran down there and stopped like this.
And Jared got to put a range on it.
And he turned back this way to leave.
And it sounded good.
Did you hear it?
Yeah, I never saw one bit of elk hide, but I heard it.
He was going to run you over.
Beautiful.
He came up right on the backside of that.
If that's how I die, that's how I want to die, I guess. But I'd like to be ran over when I'm like 83. Sitting in a little lawn chair out.
Just enjoying yourself.
Yeah, with a rifle in my hand, and then I just pummeled,
Sitting there, get struck by lightning.
Well, you go back to where, I say, go back to where you shot from. I'll go down and look.
I'll walk you in there.
Okay.
So you got the big...
Yeah.
Big guy.
Yeah.
And then, about 80 yards down there, you got that little guy.
Yeah.
Right in line with that.
Okay. Okay.
I'll just preface this by saying I'm not a doctor. But they usually don't survive that.
No. You even got bubbles on the... But I haven't seen a drop of blood.
I typically don't get great blood trails with these, just depending on the location.
As long as we can get on his tracks, for sure. This bull's finally starting to help us out. Just a hair.
To make this into even more of a rookie deal, I get down there to kind of show off the blood trail we're trying to dissect and start to lose audio on this clip. The microphone comes unplugged from the camera, so such is life. But this looks like an okay blood trail, maybe to you watching it, but we get to a point where we can't tell what this bull's done. He bled okay, and then all of a sudden it's dried up and we can't find a track in this, rocky meadow. And so we're kind of quickly trying to figure out the path this bull took, and doing so, it's quite common when there's two of you that one person goes ahead. It makes more sense for the one person that goes ahead to be the guy who already has shot the bull, and in case he stumbles into it, he's ready for a follow-up shot. So Jared walked a likely path ahead, and he finds hide.
Is he dead?
Oh, he's fucking dead.
Nice. I was just starting to figure it out. He went back uphill, and yeah.
Well, I was like, I'm just for shits and giggle. I bet you he's dead down there.
He lost her right here, didn't he? Nice. Good shot. No bleeding, but good shot.
No bleeding here.
Well, till now.
Well,
It's not a good spot to
oh, it's gonna be a long night.
Mm-hmm.
At least he's not huge.
Right. In this case, that's a good sign. That's good news. Right on.
Let's say you want a big bull. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Wyoming's had it out for me for elk hunting.
Nice.
See where that came out on him.
Low. But, geez, I mean, really,
Downhill, I bet you
Right.
Trent's right there.
other side should be perfect. Just, them single bevels are deadly, but they just don't quite pop a blood trail for you. Me and Jared we've been trying to decode this blood trail through that meadow you can see, and we were gonna get to the tree line and stop and just take a break once we figured out kind of a full direction of where he could go. And we got to the tree line.
Yeah, about 10 yards past the tree line.
Is a cliff.
I want to say a cliff.
Pretty much a cliff, huh?
I was like, I never heard him crash, so my greatest fear slash expectation was to see him dead in 3 different pieces.
Well, if he'd have made it to here, I would have been fine with that.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know how bad that is down there,
But
but
don't look good.
oh well.
We're here.
Let's take some pictures and get to work, eh? Whose idea is this? See if I can get mine off.
You know what's funny though? Last weekend, I thought I had these in my backpack.
And you didn't?
I didn't. Made sure to get some this week.
Cheers. Good shooting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bull. To the elk gods.
Warm whiskey. Oh, just the bad, bad every time.
I didn't video myself. Well, it is 9:05. Me and Jared have made it through most of the hard stuff. We've got a pretty good one to go, but we are currently, I don't even know what I'm videoing at this point. We're at a spring I know about. Probably drinking too much water, but that's the price we're willing to pay, I guess.
At least when we curl up, we'll have something to curl up.
Yeah, won't just be dry heaving.
Yeah.
Be real sweet if we were back at the side-by-side by 11. That's the self-imposed time. I think we'll be...
Might be, but I might be about halfway up that hill.
10:29, and say we've arrived. Jared's behind me just a little bit. I had to just shut my brain off and go for it. That was a doozy. I think Jared tracked us. Have to see. Just how long it was. Oh my goodness. Phone's probably sweaty. Knees weak, arms are heavy. Alright. Good night.